Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a build for the Anet AM8, which is just over this side, printing away. I bought myself a new frame, which is an extruded metal frame rather than a plastic. Plastic's too flimsy, it moves around. So that's what we're going to do. I'm not going to do an unboxing of that, but I'll leave the links where I bought it from the guy. I'm going to assemble it, jump ahead a couple of days where I've printed some of the plastic parts. I'm trying to keep this video as short as I can. It's probably going to be at least half an hour long. So we'll jump straight over there, so let's go. So when you buy this, what you get is the frame. So there's like top, bottom, sides, and the square frame at the bottom, or the rectangle frame. I'll leave the link where I bought this. I got it from Poland, and I'll leave the lad's address where you can pick it up from. There's a few ways you can get it through his Facebook and other things. So that's the frame. So I assembled the frame first. What I did do, I advise you to use like a square, an engineering square, to get all these corners right angles, nice and true, because if you bolt things up and it's not quite right, you're going to give you problems later on. So all the red parts and the black parts, the black plastic parts is what I've printed out on the Ender 3v2, and I think I might have showed it in another video. There's another part there which needs doing, which is going to be a mortar mount. How this is going to go is something like that. So the next day, there's the frame of the Anet AM8, all disassembled pretty much, and all the parts laid out, all the bits are printed out over the time to get that working. There's the screen, MOSFET holder, the main board holder and everything. It's quite weird taking all the bits after so long. Anyway, there's the frame. Show you the electronics. Move the camera over. Before I show you the AM8, there's all the wiring. Looks a bit of a mess. So we've got, there's the heated bed, just there. Got a couple of tail smoothers just at the bottom of it. Couple there. So that's what I've done so far. Let's have a little look then. As you can see, I've put most of this on. I'll attach it all on, pretty much all of it. I've got a few bits I'm printing out now. The Ender 3's printing out. A block to go onto here because I've got the wrong one. So we start off on this side. There's a tensioner. You can see. Tensioner goes back and forward. That's all you get. Obviously the bearings are in. I need to fit the tooth gear. I'll put the rods in. Nothing's been measured, so it's just all in rough, so not even tightened up. I've spent a lot of time just making sure these are all square. Yeah, they're in dryland bearings, nice and smooth, all the way up to there, all the way to there. Again, it's not adjusted, but I do have these dryland bearings in there, but these ones have got the old roller bearings, you can see. So I'm going to swap them for them. Listen to the difference. Right guys, so this is the next stage as far as I've got. So as you can see, I've added electronics, put the board in, fitted most of the wiring. Everything's working apart from the bed because I haven't connected that up yet, and that's just on the floor somewhere. Where have I put the bed at? Anyway, the bed's just over there. So power supply's all in, all working. Got a fan, that's good. 240's in, and I've added quite a bit. If I just move this, So what you can see down there, it's probably hard to come up on camera, but just over at this side there's a connector block here. That's basically going to be joining all my power supply, because I moved the motherboard from, focusing on my finger, sorry about that, because I moved the motherboard, which used to be supposed to be here, down to the front. All the wiring is different lengths, so I've had to like add different lengths of wire and add things up, and I've decided to put a junction box in there to fix that problem. Right guys, so finally finished the printer. Took us a couple of weeks to get this done, mainly because I was going to work and I had to order some bits and pieces, and that took a couple of days just waiting for bits from Amazon and such. So as you can see, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it working, print something out, but before then I'm just going to show you what it looks like from this angle, and then I'll put it on the floor, turn it upside down, and I'll show you underneath the wiring and such. So everything's went together really well. Screen is good. I did have to alter it a little bit, and I'll explain that later on, but the thing's working. I've printed a few little pieces out, but I'm going to do some more. I just thought I'd show you from this angle, that's all. There's the other printer working away. What that's doing at the minute, the Ender 3, is printing out a bracket, and what you can see here, this is just something I designed. This is the first attempt, and what that's going to do, obviously let that focus, what that's going to do, it's going to fit on the behind here, and it's going to hold this in place as well as bolt onto there. Yeah, so that was the first attempt, and what I'll do is I'll show you that. It's nearly finished, got like 20 minutes left, so what I'll do is after this little bit I'll go and attach that, make sure it's all working, so I want to show you that, and if it all works I'll leave a link on Thingiverse when I get time to put it up. Right guys, so I've took it off the bench, put it on the floor. Just thought I'd show you the top view, so anyone's interested in doing a build like this, might be interesting. Yeah, so I'm just going to pan around and just try to keep it steady as I can. Yeah, so it's a nice little package, to be honest. The back end there. It's awkward to actually get everything in because I'm on the tripod still, so I'll pop that down a little bit so I can get round. So it's come together better than I expected, like far better than I expected. It's almost like as if it's a bought one, like you just bought it like that. That's how clean it looks. Right, so I will put it on tripod and have another little look closer. Right guys, hopefully you can see that. I'm trying my best with this camera, but it's really tight space here to work in. So there it is there. All works. I'm going to plug it in a minute and just show you. That's the bracket I've just printed out. You can see this is cable tied to there, that's fixed to there, so it's doing two jobs really. It's holding this fan a bit more secure. The fan's held at the bottom and the top. It's held by here with that bolt and by here at the top. The final version, what I'll do is I'll trim this down a little bit, make these round corners, make it look a little bit more pleasing to look at, and also behind here there's a little tunnel, so I can actually have these wires going through there, which will make it look a little bit nicer. Yeah. So if you can see from there, this is on a hinge. Just print it out again. I'll leave the links down below where I print this out. this is the original handle off the Ender 3, which I didn't really use because I printed another one out with bearings in. So that's that bit. And if I just pop it around the side, just trying to get you all the right angles here. I've got no space here. This part here was this part is what I really wanted to work, and it's worked a treat. This red part, which has been printed out, because I wanted a sharp Bowden tube. I wanted to go with a Bowden tube. I didn't want a direct drive. I used to have a direct drive, and they're alright. They're great if you're doing a lot of flexi. But I wanted a lighter head on this end. I wanted this to be lighter, so I went for this system. It works for me with the V6. Now this obviously goes up and down with the gantry. I would like to change it a little bit. There's a bit too much space there, a bit too much space here. I'd like to make it a bit shorter, but does its job, bolts onto there fine. Yeah. These top ends go together really nice. Everything's aligned perfectly, for me anyway. These bearings at the top, I have got these the other way around. Originally it's supposed to be the other way, so that's supposed to be the bottom, but I find it works better with the bearings so they don't fall out, because there's a bottom edge on there. I just think it works better. Also, if it works the other way, then this is too low. These rods are a bit too low, so it works better that way for me. And I've got my tool holder at the top. Don't think you can see that, but I'll show you that in a moment. The V6 bit. What have I done to this V6 really? Nothing, not a great deal. I had to reprint all this out, and if you look, I just move that over a little bit, you can see there are a couple of versions. That was the original version which went on there, yeah. Then I printed out that one, slightly loaded, and I finished off with this red one, which is that one, which basically was just making this a little bit less, giving it more space for the wiring. So I had 3 versions of that. There's that bracket, which is a couple of versions of that. You can the cable tie goes through at the end. It just cables on, so that's worked out alright. Other things I needed to change. This pulley system on that axis was originally like this. This is the one I printed out, like that, if you can see. And that bearing top and bottom didn't work out because the height was too much, and also this part caught on the motherboard. So I scrapped that idea. I tried different versions, like a straight version, just so it didn't hang down so much. That didn't work. And another version. So I ended up going with this. So I redesigned my own pulley and this bit. Again, I'll leave that up on Thingiverse if anyone's interested. And one other thing, they're the original ones, you can see. I've got like about 7mm cut out for them, because the blocks, these blocks which are just under there, they were catching on this part like that. So that had to go, because for some reason my travel all the way to there is still not enough, because I need to do a bit more work. I need to either lift these up, which I'm not going to do because I just don't think I need to do that, and I'm just going to take it on the miller and take off 2mm, because the frame, that part there, the bottom edge is just touching on the frame, so I need to do that, just on these two, not on the back two, and that'll give me 10 more millimeters movement that way. It's almost as if these stanchions are too far this way. They need to be further back by about 20mm, because I've got loads of space at the back. Goes over the, I mean that's where the head is, so I've got like 20mm there, but this side it runs out, so I'm only getting I've got some sort of pointer. I'm only getting about here. I know these clips are on, so it's not too bad, but I would like to get at least to this edge where the clips are. So that's how I'm going to do that. So yeah, the Bowden system I was using on the old Anet, it was up at the top. It was feeding off the top gantry on a long tube down, so that's the one I was using. It only had one wheel, where the new one has 2 drive wheels. Now I did have to change, show you that, I did have to change the E-steps because the wheels what came with it, that one's off the ender and that one's off the Anet. The diameter is exactly the same, but the smaller drive wheels on there. So I had to up the steps to, I think it was 340 or something. And what I've done is I've just done 100mm, if you don't know. 100mm, mark it, run it through, and it stopped too early and it had like 30mm left. So I just keep adding, I added a 30mm, and that was fine, to the steps. And now it's working, it's pulling 100mm on the E-steps. So yeah, that's all worked out fantastic. This is a dual axis drive, a dual geared tooth. I'll leave a link where I bought that. It's exactly the same one as I bought for the ender, and I liked it, so I bought another one for there. Yeah. What else then? The motors, everything went together really nice. The frame itself is like so rigid, it's just unbelievable. Let's have a look. I need to take some of these tools out because they'll fall out if I don't. So they're just my tools at the top. Yeah. Let's have a look. Let's have a look around the left hand side. Ugh. It's quite a weighty little thing. Now on this side here, just so you can see everything. This is original. That was painted. I just painted it black. Because I already had the fan, it all worked, and I've just run the wiring through there. You can see it a little bit, comes out the bottom. This I had to reprint. I had to put a new switch on, that was bust. Let's see if I can get all the way over. Yeah, there's a bottom cover on this one, where there wasn't a bottom cover on the other one. These 2 wires, the main power comes out, I'll show you that in a moment. Looking at it from that angle. Yeah. What I don't want to do is put all the weight on the front where the plastic is, so let me turn it over. This comes out. It's going to go down like that. And let me just turn it around so you can see. Just trying to get it right there. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Ooh, what a mess. Now, it's not bad actually. It's a really technical build. It's one of the most technical things I've done on a printer. And yes, it all goes together, but the wiring, trying to get the wiring nice, that's the hard bit. So as you can see, this is printed out here for the switch and stop. I was a bit like dubious about this. I was going to run it around, but I didn't want to cut any more wires, and it's fine there. Once it's running away, it's out the road, you're not going to catch anything. You can see these blocks. I mean, I don't know whether they'll come up on camera, but there's a 7mm block added to the bed to there, just to lift it up enough, because the height wasn't correct for these rails. It was too low. I needed to get higher so the switch would work and it wouldn't catch on the front, if that makes sense. Also I had to add another one to the block here, 7mm, so there was like 5 of them, which just attaches to there. Yeah, I'll leave the links for that as well. Just knocked some of them in Thingiverse. Sorry, in Tinkercad, just knocked them up. As you can see, all the red parts are printed out and a lot of the black plastic parts. This black part I got off Thingiverse, but I had to make this bit because I was originally going to have it closer, but I wouldn't have no space for the wires, so I had to step it back, make this thing like a sock which goes over that little bit. There's a black part in here, and the screen's fitted the same. Again, I had to adjust this a little bit, and the feet just, them rubber balls just fit in. These are just rubber balls of paintball things. I wanted like small ones, and you just sit them in. They fall out if you don't, but once you put it on the table, they just sit there. I wanted access to that nut sometime. These two, which go up to the stanchions on the frame, had to be tapped out M4s. I had to tap them out. 2 on that side, 2 on that side. Everything's nice and solid. The wiring, as you can see, comes from the mains, goes round here, goes all the way around that way, and it's a orange and white. There's one of them, there's the other one there. Comes in orange and white there. Now I did use ferrules for all these connectors, these things, so everything's sort of nice and safe, secure. I'm really feeling good about all the connections, especially in the power supply and along here. Now put this junction box here, hopefully that comes through. I don't know whether you can see that okay. I need to move it a little bit. It's awkward to get the right angle. I think you should have to see that. Yeah, you should have to see that okay. So the junction blocks here, and the ones I bought, if I can just find them, because everything's just all over the place at the minute. There they are there. Yeah. Hopefully that comes through. 3 amp. These are 12-way ones. 3 amp ones. Because I didn't want the big ones, obviously it's small ones. So what that does, left me with one spot left, which I'm going to do an earthing point. So I'm going to do an earthing point and earth all the frame up. That's the only thing I haven't done. Don't need it, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's all earthed up in the socket and the plug. Anyway, I'm going to do that. So it's made life a lot easier because I've got all the power running this way and all the cables running that way. Then from here it goes back up there. And the way you can see, I'll move this back around. Ugh. It's awkward to get that in. If you can see this side, there's these black covers. That one's a bit loose, but because there's not many things, there's only 2 cables in there. But there's a one there, one here, and one on the other side. As well as some of these clips. These various clips are printed out. Different ones, different size ones. There's a load here. And some of them didn't work, so I think I used them ones. Not them ones, it's too big. They're the ones I decided to use. And you can stretch them and make them as long as you want. Now this, I'll leave the link for this because this is one I done myself. You can see that one's on there, and there's another one on this side. You can't really see. It clips in, but there's enough space to have all your wiring. So I've got like God knows how many wires there, 30 wires underneath. You can have that going all the way along. I'll print another one out to go there if you wanted to tidy up a bit more. This Y motor is secured really well. I wanted to stay with this setup because it works really nice. SD card comes along. Couldn't really do anything apart from that. I've got the cable for my computer cable to go across. How I'm going to do that I don't know yet. I'll probably print something out to like attach it to the side so I can plug USB in. So that's what it looks like from the bottom. I'll try to give you a better view if I can just hold it up. It's heavy. I've got some silver. I put some silver reflective on the bottom of the bed, and that's the new bed I had to buy. I didn't have to, but there's the original, yeah. And the problem was this top bit was catching. I can't remember what was catching. I was catching on something. So in the end, I couldn't move these blocks like this. If I can just show you. So for instance, that block was on there like that, yeah. Just say that block was on that side. I couldn't move the blocks any further because I wanted to get more space on the bed. I wanted to move further up, so I couldn't really do that. I had to go that way, and obviously that's not flush. If it was a one piece, then I could really do that. So in the end I just thought, what the hell, buy a new bed. It was like 20 quid. It was well worth it. I could have made one. I've got a plasma cutter, so I could have just got some plate and cut something out. But for next day delivery from Amazon, it's just so easy, so I'll just do that. I'm so glad I did, because it just saves time. Already a couple of weeks into this build, trying to get everything sorted, waiting for like little things and such. So yeah, as you can see, I think it looks really nice. It looks a little bit of a bit untidy, but I'm quite pleased with it anyway. Let's pop it up this side. I'll show you the back. Ugh, it's a heavy thing. I don't know what you can see from there, but the electronics board, they're still using this is still using 1.79 I think it is firmware, Marlin. Now this is only 8-bit, and I'm literally using all of 8 bits. I've got no more space, so the only thing I haven't been able to put on is a run out for the filament run out. There's no more space. I think that uses 5k of space on the memory, on the ROM. So I couldn't use that. So that's the only thing I couldn't put on, which yeah, it is what it is. All them fell out, so put them in. So yeah, that's about it really, guys. What else can I say? Can't really show you anything else. I'll show you from the back, and then I'll plug it in and get it working. It's hard to really see from that angle, but the power cable is usually coming from the side on the other one, but I've got it at the back. So, and then the side here, so this is all nice and snug. This side, I've got the cables coming through the bottom. Let me see if you can see that. Let's try to move up so you can see. Hopefully that comes through. Cable tied here. This is printed out. So this little block here is plastic. That's just printed out and cable tied there and bolted to the frame. This has turned out really well. Yeah, overall super pleased with it. I do need to put a little rubber foot on the bottom of this to do that. So yeah, the electronics, if I can zoom in and show you a bit closer. I don't know whether I can get any closer to that really. Maybe there, a bit further down. Yeah, so you can see all the ferrules. So these are all secured up. I could make it a bit tidier, maybe put a cover on. I don't know what to do yet. I might make a little cover to come across from here, level with this to go, but I can't really do anything for these. Maybe you have a cutaway so they stick up a bit. But I don't mind it, I quite like it. It's nice to keep an eye on things. I can check temperatures. If nothing gets affected. The heat doesn't really matter because heat's going up, so there's no heat off the heated bed going down because it's getting reflected back up. And on the heated bed, it's a stainless sheet. I've been using this one for years. That side, it just has that on, but I prefer to use that just with some. And it's just one of those flexi ones you just bend. Yeah, it just pops it off. Fits fits, it just works. I've been using this for God knows how many years. I've no problems at all with it, and just the paper clips. Could design some tighter fitting ones where you have a bit more space, but yeah, and the hand wheels there to retrace them. But the BL Touch, that's working great. That's original. Fans are original. Remember, this is 12 volts, not 24 volts, so I've had to keep all the original things. But yeah, it's working great. What I'm going to do is there's a couple of things I've printed out there, but I'll show you them later. I'll plug it in and we'll see if it all works and such. There's a limited space here, but I can get in with a screwdriver just to adjust that tensioner. So I redesigned this, and inside there's a nut, and obviously just pulling that against that nut, and these are all bearings in there. This has worked out really nice. If you notice, I've got this cut out so this can go back a further, because this part was touching, the block for the belt, which is on the bed. It was touching there because it stuck out about there, so I had to like sort of redesign everything just to give you that extra little bit. So once I do these, then I'll gain the full size of the bed. I'll do them like another time, and I won't be bothered. But it's working. I think it's working good. So what I'll do is we'll put it back on the bench, plug it all in, and I'll show you it working. So back shortly. Rightio, so it's all plugged in. I'm going to turn it on and print something out. So there it is there. Put it up quick. I'll set it away. Initiate SD card. Print from SD. I've got an SD card in. I'll just print a calibration cube. That's it. I don't know if you can see this side. Might not be able to see it as easily that side, but let's have a little look. You might be able to see just down there. It's hard to see. If I move that bed a little bit, you can see the. Can you see blue light? So on the MOSFETs, I can't tell whether it's coming up on the camera. I just can't see. But there's a blue light there. That's the heated bed, which is got set to 40, 28, 29, and there's another blue light just here next to. So this is the bed MOSFET. This is the hot end MOSFET, and you can see the fans going on the. For the PSU, that's working. It's all good. Just waiting now. See if everything heats up. 35. I'll put a little bit of glue stick on. This fan's on. What I normally do as well is I normally have that like angled sideways, but I can't really now put that on because there's a little gap this side, and that's where the air would blow through, but I can still feel the air blowing through there. Keeps this cool as well. The only thing I'm not really 100% keen about is these wires coming down here. Can't really do anything about that really, because if you bend these too much you might damage your heater block, so you got to be careful about moving things too much. So the bed's heating up now, 43. Sorry, the hot ends. Bed's up to 40, and the hot ends up to 55, 57, 59, and so on. This is only a 12 volt system, so it takes a little bit longer. As you can see, I've got the rubber feet on. I don't know if you can see that there. I'll just push that down. They're on rubbers all the way around, so it's nice and secure. It stops any bad vibrations really. I've got everything tensioned up just to the right amount. I'll put some black PLA in, so you can see there. Got my black filament in there. Yeah, that's about it. Just going to wait for this to crack up. Up to 132 centigrade. It's really nice. Fans are working there. I can actually feel underneath the fan of the main board blowing down as well. It's blowing down and out. 174. And see if it all works. I might need to tidy up a little. Some of the prints where there's little raggies on, might need to tidy them up. One thing I don't like about this is that reset button is too close to there, so as you turn it, you knock it with your hand. So what I'm going to do is take it a bit, take this back a bit, take it off. So to reset it, you've got to push something in. I'll have that flush actually. Okay, it's working away. See the two blue. Let's see if this works. Ugh. Like I say, I haven't calibrated properly. I've got the offset at about minus 40 something. It's dropping down 1.6. So it's doing a mesh bed. So it's doing like, I think it's 9 points. So you can see this is too tight. I need to put another length of this on. Just by about 20 mil or so. I've got an all metal hot end. So I placed it for the all metal hot end, which is far better, so you can go a bit higher temperatures and not worry too much. I don't really print with anything apart from PETG and PLA. I have got some ABS, but as we all know, ABS is a pain. So that's going to ramp down now. Should start printing. Let's see if this works. It's in black. Is that coming through okay? Can you see that? Oh yeah, you can see the blue lights flashing now. So obviously that's flashing because it's on and off, on and off, on and off. So the power for the MOSFETs, it's keeping the temperature right. So that flashing will change depending on how cool it is, and when you can hear there, they're not silent drivers. I don't mind it, to be honest. It's not loud, it's just whereas on the ender it's silent. So we're up to 40 degrees on the bed and we've got 210. I want to change that a bit. Nozzle 215, 217. Yeah. Like a little bit warmer. I forgot I was using red last time, so I usually print around about 215 to 220 on. This is working good. Just keeping this nice and parallel. This is nice and secure now. The only thing is, can you see that moving? This is going to wear. This Bowden tube is getting pushed back and forward. It needs to be a little bit longer. So this is about here. So I'm going to add maybe an inch or so or whatever. Yeah, it seems to be working okay. I'll speed this bit up and then we'll get the calipers out and see how bad it is. Alright guys, that's the end of the print. Just finishing up now. Everything seems to be working okay. I'm just going to measure it and see what dimensions it's got. So I'll go use my trusty old calipers. And it stops. I know this is going super slow. For some reason in the firmware I set the feed rate or the travel really low. It doesn't really matter because it's the end of the thing. Let me move back a little bit. Yeah, it's all working good. So really pleased. Let's have a little final dimension. So it's all finished, everything's turned off. Temperature's dropping on the bed and that. This pops out of there. That's stuck a bit too good. But anyway, let me just have a measure. You can see? I can't get in there. I'm trying to see the calipers end, so I'll have a little measure. So let's do the Z first. I might show you that. Can't see. 20.15 on the Z. Yeah. Y. Can you see that? 20.19 on the Y and the X. Is that there? Can you see that? 20.11. So, yeah. And then when I close it again, it's gone back to 0 just to make sure it hasn't gone out. So, yeah, what more can I say, guys? Works fantastic, really pleased with it. Looks good. Looks fantastic, actually. Got no problems with that at all. That's is good. So that one's done off there. This one is done on the ender. It's the same filament as well, so I use exactly the same filament. Let me just see if that's focused correctly. It actually looks nicer on the Anet. The edges look sharper. Hold on, that's that way, isn't it? The X. It's hard to get this in shot. The X layers look better on the ender. Well, I don't know. I mean, that's super sharp. I don't think I'm focused on there properly. Yeah, trouble is it doesn't focus that clear. Anyway, so the actual X itself is sharper, but the layers seem a little bit better on there. And I would say definitely the Y. Y is definitely better. So the bases. The base is better on the ender. Obviously that's got that like carborundum coating. So it's like it's a nicer base. But still. Yeah. I would say the ender's given better for the layers, but not on all of them. Either way, it's super close. And for an oldish, cheapish printer, just putting that frame on there alone has made this thing super rigid. I'm really pleased with it. So I'll try some bigger prints. You can see where that was just off the, I was just using some of this. Alma's blue, this one's the blue one, if you're interested, or purple. To use a little bit of that, and sometimes I just put a bit of water on because it's water based. And I think just before off camera, before I printed that one, because no one, I said the E-steps were wrong. That's the one I printed. So this is only the second print because that was done off that one. So that's only the second print since the build, and as you can see, under extrusion, yeah, the top layers are not quite there. So when I obviously done that, sorted the extrusion out, and that's that. And that one's off the ender, just in red to see with the difference. And also the size. Let me just do this black one because it's the same filament. Let me just check the dimensions of the ender. Uh, 19.93 for the Z. The Y 20.20, and the X 20.4. Yeah. Alright guys, so that's the end of the video for this printer. So I apologise for the length, it's been too long, but it's 2 weeks compressed into whatever it is, half an hour or so. So I apologise for that. I hope you found it useful. I really enjoyed making it. If you did like it, give us a thumbs up, drop us a link or comment below if you've got anything to discuss about it, and if you haven't already subbed, I'd appreciate it if you sub. Okay, see you later, bye.